No. 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 Yeah. Well, my day was going so good. Basically, for me, it's no conspiracy theory that I just like Hunter Avallone. And pretty much for me, Hunter Avallone's channel is pretty much the place I just love to go to when I want to go and pretty much find something I want to go and rant about. And basically I was bored a few days ago, surfing on the internet, all bored, clicking through various stuff on YouTube and boredom. And then I found this video from Hunter, which Hunter had done a while ago, and it was basically not very good. And because I love to go and torture myself, I thought, why not go and have me and obviously whoever's watching this at home right now, or wherever, go and watch it together. So for me, I will be going and basically like showing the video like different sections and stuff, and then giving my frank opinion. And basically this video Hunter done is called Fat and Shake. Right, it was called Fat Acceptance Isn't Beautiful, It's Disgusting or something. I'm gonna go and check what it is. Yeah, I checked. It's called Fat Is Not Beautiful, It's Disgusting. And basically it is on acceptance. Yay! Honestly, for me, I've basically like done this sort of like tally thing in my mind, and I looked through all of Hunter Avallone's videos, and it turns out most of them, if they are to go in any kind of category, pretty much they're all poking fun at either Muslims, the LGBT, mainly consisting of gay people and transgenders, defending Trump, because to like Trump supporters, Trump's like, I don't know, Jesus. And then there is poking fun at fat people, because why not? So anyways, let's get this nightmare over with.
You know what I love? I love eating as many cheeseburgers as I can fit into my pie hole, getting super fat, and then being told that I'm just as beautiful as a Greek god. That's why I love the fat acceptance movement.
And this is how I can tell you're being sarcastic.
Almost exactly 1 year ago, I released a video called Why I Hate Fat Acceptance. The video was greeted with a lot of support, and I think we all assumed that the fat acceptance movement would just die out sooner than later, just like fat people. However, it seems that the opposite has happened, with the fat acceptance movement still spreading rapidly like cancer. So, I think this video is definitely needed.
Well, the nightmare's truly begun this time.
Number 1. The movement is full of self-loathing crybabies. You know, I tell you, for a movement that talks a lot about self-love and positivity, it's sure filled with a lot of people who hate themselves and are not very positive. Fat acceptance has created a slew of retarded terms to try and paint fat people as these poor, oppressed, marginalized victims, and encourage fat people to feel sorry for themselves.
Yeah, well, Hunter, the thing is, people don't just wake up and go, well, I want to be extremely overweight today. I mean, seriously, people just don't do that.
For example, a new demented term has been invented. Prepare yourself for this one, guys. It's called fat phobia. Yeah, creative, right? Just slap phobia at the end of anything to make everyone who disagrees an instant bigot. Fat phobia 101. 6 tools to dismantle weight stigma. That's right, my friends. If you think fat people shouldn't give themselves a heart attack or look like Bigfoot mated with a killer whale, then you are a fat-phobic, fat-shaming bigot. This poor, boo-hoo, self-pitying article literally tries to suggest that there's a stigma around being fat comparable to homophobia.
Looking at this kind of thing, it's pretty much clear. I'm not sure if you're thinking the same thing as me, but is it just me, or is Hunter pretty much saying that every single kind of like lemon phobia there is nowadays, as there is a lot? I mean, there's homophobia, transphobia, xenophobia, Islamophobia. I mean, heck, there's phobias for like all kinds of things. Blood, spiders. I heard there's even one which is a phobia people have of children. So, pretty much for Hunter, he's saying that every single phobia there is, which he doesn't agree with, is pretty much invented by some kind of a liberal special snowflake who just really just needed to go back to their personal safe space on the internet. Because for me, I'm definitely thinking that. So, anyways, Hunter, you haven't said anything like extremely bad yet, so I'll let you continue.
Seriously, what faggots? The article says something along the lines of, fat people are victims and somehow skinny people are affected also. I don't know how this makes sense, but here's how fatties are victimized.
Pretty much people who are also underweight and get tended to being like picked on and stuff. People like going, oh, you're too skinny, go eat something like a steak or whatever. I mean, seriously, Hunter, not that long ago you did do a video where you were complaining about vegans, saying how they were all scrawny hippies who really needed to go eat some meat. So, pretty much for some people, they're just unlucky. Where if you look too underweight, people will make fun of you, and if you look too overweight, then people will look fun of you. I mean, heck, if you look too skinny, then they'll poke fun at you and laugh and go, hey, 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 go eat a steak. Or if they look like they're too overweight, they'll go, go eat a salad, go eat a salad. Ugh. I mean, seriously. People who are underweight tend to get picked on too at times. It's not just people who are overweight.
Number 2, I hate the fat acceptance movement because the movement is lazy. One of the major problems with the fat acceptance movement is that it teaches fat people that everything and everyone has to change for their sake, but the fat people can stay exactly the same. I mean, it's pretty easy to see why some fat people cling to this movement. Isn't it so much easier to just blame all your problems on society rather than take any personal responsibility? According to NAAFA, yes, that's a real organization founded in 1969 called the National Association to Advance Fat Acceptance, they're a non-profit civil rights movement dedicated to improving the quality of life for fat people. So maybe they encourage, I don't know, healthy eating and exercise or something like that?
Already looking at this, it seems pretty clear in my mind that Hunter might be beginning to say that everyone who is overweight doesn't bother at all to eat healthy or exercise whatsoever. I mean, seriously. Not everyone who is overweight really doesn't do anything to go and lose weight. I mean, heck, like I said before, people just don't wake up and go, "Ooh, I just want to be overweight."
Ha! Don't be a fat phobic! Their vision is a society in which people of every size are accepted with dignity and equality in all aspects of life. So don't tell fat people they're getting too fat to the point of actual life-threatening danger. Tell them that society has to change. Don't work to help fat people change for the better. Work to make society change.
Hunter, are you acting like a muppet? Because if you're pretending to be a muppet, I think you might be beginning to do a pretty good job. Because the reason why society is now being so accepting now of people who are fat is primarily because people know that it isn't exactly easy to lose weight. I mean, seriously. My mom, she's pretty much, well, for her, she at times does wind up finding hard to keep her weight under control and stuff. I mean, seriously, she's not ain't got the waistline of a living room sofa. Though for her, she does wind up tending to go off and on limit diets and stuff with all her shakes and smoothies and other kind of breakfast things to help her lose weight. I mean, seriously, the reason why society is not accepting of fat people is because people know how difficult it can be for people to lose weight. Simple as that.
Number 3. I hate the fat acceptance movement because believing in fat acceptance does not solve any health issues. Brittle bones, cancer, diabetes, and even early death are some of the many health risks you have if you're fat. In fact, obesity is the second leading cause of preventable death in the US. But rather focus on these real and life-threatening problems fat people have, fat acceptance idiots would rather glorify obesity for the sake of feelings. When they say plus-size girls can't wear a two-piece, be pregnant. Bitch, pregnant with a food baby. Wear patterns. Wear lingerie. This goes back to the classic lesson. Just if you can do something doesn't always mean you should do something. In this case, you should not wear that. You look awful.
Oh, look. Hunter's now beginning to take the role of the fashion police. I mean, seriously. I think he's beginning to sound a lot like Onision did after he discovered that Jacqueline Glenn ended up getting a boob job and started whining and complaining. Ugh. Already I feel like I'm regretting watching this video.
Okay, so we've seen this horribly awful video. Cool. Okay, great. Now, let's pretend for the sake of this argument that we all agree that plus-size girls can do this. They're beautiful, they're great, they're amazing, they're beautiful just the way they are, and they can do whatever they want. Even be athletic. Honey, your pants are doing more stretching than you'll ever do in your entire life.
Hunter is definitely assuming that pretty much everyone who is overweight doesn't bother to eat healthy or do exercise.
Number 4. Fat acceptance is dangerous. Fat acceptance is a lot more than just a cheesy movement that strives to distract people from all the health risks that come along with being fat. It actually adds to the health risks. When you tell somebody they're beautiful just the way they are, it discourages change. Why on earth would you try and change for the better if you're already being told that you're beautiful, amazing, and perfect just the way you are? Some researchers are now wondering if fat acceptance is contributing to America's obesity problem. Fewer overweight Americans have been trying to lose weight in recent years, and researchers wonder if fat acceptance could be among the reasons.
Hunter, I'm pretty sure it's really the other thing involving fat people, which is really making Americans not want to do exercise. And it isn't people accepting fat people but it's really the other one involving them. And I think everyone knows what the opposite of fat acceptance is.
And finally, I would like to close this video up with a final solution to the problem.
Well, I can't wait to hear what the apparent solution you have is, Hunter. I mean, when it comes to Muslims, you think that their entire religion needs to be reformed to your standards, or be wiped from the face of the earth. And pretty much I think when it comes to transgenders, you believe that they need like some kind of, I don't know, mental shrink or whatever, or take some kind of weird cuckoo in the head person pill. So, go on. What do you think is your solution to that acceptance? I'm inside I'm regretting this.
Number 5. Fat shaming works.
Okay. What the actual fuck? Ugh. This is just... Ugh. So go on, Hunter. What lovely, lovely evidence have you got to prove that fat shaming works? Ugh.
Yeah, I get it. It's controversial and it's a little bit rude, but I think bullying is kind of fun. And hey, now I can bully someone with a clear conscience. In all seriousness, there's actually a lot of evidence to suggest that fat shaming actually helps people.
Ooh. So let's see this evidence. I'm going to see if I can try and find some evidence that ends up proving that shaming really does, and whether or not bullying really does wind up making people lose weight. So, I'm going to turn on my tablet like so, and go and do a search on Google. So let's go and see. Yeah, it's firing up. Let's see. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Going up all day. Or rather night, because like, there's nighttime here, but it could be like daytime or wherever where you are watching this thing. So, let's go and see where this evidence is that fat shaming apparently helps people. I mean, seriously, bullying pretty much Hunter will have a load of explaining to do. Although I don't think he'll be getting that many comments from people who are peeved off. Because pretty much for his subscribers, I reckon they take what Hunter says at so much face value. That if he went and told all his subscribers to go jump off a bridge, then they'd pretty much be queuing up to go and jump off the nearest bridge. And go bungee jumping without the bungee cord. So, let's go and see this thing. Does fat shaming work? Okay. Let's see. Jacqueline Gluck and just on a new video. Okay. There are like a lot of videos. Yes. Does fat shaming make things worse. Oh, look at this. There's this thing that says, science confirms fat shaming makes things worse. This thing's from the Telegraph. Fat shaming actually makes people's health worse. Study by Pennsylvania University finds. Let's see what else there is. Let's take a look at this thing. It says, oh, and look at this. Fat shaming actually increases risk of becoming or staying obese, new study says. 2015. According to scientists, here's why fat shaming only makes things worse. Let's see what the Telegraph had to say about this thing. It's here, the idea of fat shaming, the term used to describe mocking a person for their size, inspires victims to check that the pounds is a myth scientists warned. Researchers say painful measures drive people towards comfort eating and may increase the risk of cardiovascular and metabolic disease. So yeah, you can clearly tell fat shaming works a lot. So anyways, Hunter, let's see your evidence.
A study done in 2014 found that a desire to improve self-worth was one of the most important motivating factors encouraging people to lose weight. Even a study from UCLA's Dedicated Eating Research Institute concurred, explicitly recommending social pressure on the overweight as a remedy to America's obesity crisis.
Yeah, and a study from 2014 over in the UK, done by Cancer Research UK and the NHS, ended up showing, if I recall correctly, that the out of nearly 3,000 people who were like in the test thing, those who ended up getting fat shamed gained weight, whilst those who ended up not getting fat shamed lost weight. So let's see if I can try and find it. Page. Or shaming. Yep, just as I found out. It's here. According to the NHS, fat shaming is more damaging than racism. And the Independent newspaper, it said, now here's proof that fat shaming doesn't work. It's time to change your attitude towards obesity. talks about study. And it said it was likely to upset sectors of the media and medical communities, since it proved that sensible people will have long own that body image discriminations need to be handled with sensitivity. For the past 8 months, the press has been awash with the statistics related to Britain's so-called obesity crisis, with experts advising us to take a direct approach by telling our friends, colleagues, and even our children in uncertain terms they are fat and need to address the situation. In other words, fat shame. I mean, seriously, this kind of thing is not good. In fact, I remember it all now. Well, because basically what the results thing said was that not only does fat shaming make people gain weight, but it made them get depressed. And as everyone knows that when it comes to depression, if it's left alone for long enough and like nothing's done, then in the end everyone knows what's next. And that's suicide. And seriously, it's just not good with what fat shaming does. It's just not.
So in conclusion, I have decided to start my own movement, the fat shaming movement. Find a fat person today and shame them. Go up to a random fat person and tell them they're gross. Go up to this woman and tell her she's just disgusting. Also, she'd only be good as a stripper if her job was to put more clothes on. Go up to this guy. Tell him he's greasy, hairy, and he will die a virgin. Together, we can make a difference and save the fat people from self-destruction. Anyway, those are my reasons as to why I hate the fat acceptance movement. I really hope you enjoyed. Please give this video a like, comment below, and subscribe to my channel for new videos all the time. My name is Hunter Avallone. Thank you everyone for watching. Peace.
Honestly, the thing at the end card said, share this video with a fat person and help save their life. I think if I were to give that video to a fat person, it would be more than likely only help them to end their life rather than save it. I mean, seriously, it's almost like now we're at such a stage where people hate political correctness, where it's like even being a decent human being is being seen as being politically correct. I mean, it's just, I have no idea why I am saying this calm and not wanting to feel like breaking something. Studies over here in the UK have proven time and time again and again that fat shaming does not, will not, and will never, ever work. Never. I mean, seriously. If fat shaming really does end up becoming apparently acceptable, as Hunter thinks it should, then the media will be using a lot more or the term being bullied to death. Yeah, people have been bullied a lot in the US, to the point where they've been doing shit like hanging themselves in bedroom closets and doing things like jumping off of bridges. I mean, seriously, Hunter, science has proven that fat shaming does not work. And I think I know exactly what kind of facts and science you really do use for your videos. You only use the facts and science you find which agrees with you, and you just ignore all the ones which say otherwise. I mean, simple. There have been people in my family who have struggled with yeah, they eat healthy, they do loads of exercise. All people like you, Hunter, just go and do is choose to complain over things like what they're eating because of what they're wearing, because of things which absolutely have nothing to do with you. I mean, seriously. If you are, if you know somebody who is overweight, you should try to help them and be encouraging to them. Say you can lose weight. And I know it's not easy. You don't need to be ashamed of this. Not go, you're fat, go eat a salad. You're a fat retard, you're such a snowflake, go back to where you belong, eat a fucking salad. I mean, seriously. If you really care about fat people, or really care about somebody's weight, then what you should be doing is supporting them, not trying to ridicule and poke fun at them. Because if you do try to, and if they do wind up trying to harm themselves, and if they do wind up leaving this world, then their blood is going to be on your hands. And it won't matter how much complaining or how much time you try to justify you doing fat shaming. So, it's simple. How you should really deal with people who are struggling to get to lose weight is you should be kind to them. Tell them it's okay. Tell them that tell them that it's hard for them and stuff, and that it isn't easy, and that they're not going to go and find some kind of magic genie which would make them lose all their weight like that, and all the excess weight, not all the other way, otherwise they'd probably die from lack of food. Not go and poke fun at them and stuff. So pretty much my advice is, when it comes to trying to deal with fat people, do pretty much the exact opposite of what Hunter says for you to do when he tells you to go and fat shame them. And if you want to check this video, and if you think it helps them actually with weight stuff, then you can go and do it. It's really people like Hunter who are not only, in my mind, a disgrace to the human race, but even a disgrace to their own faith. Because basically we hear on how Jesus loves everybody, and all that kind of stuff. And if a lot of his subscribers are Christians, then why are you in a religion? The ones that are preaching nothing but love, or supposed to anyways, if you wind up listening to someone who preaches nothing but hate, and because of this video, I will never, ever subscribe to Hunter Avallone's YouTube channel. I wouldn't even subscribe to his YouTube channel even if somebody offered to pay me, order to subscribe to his channel. And I wouldn't even do it even if he offered me like 10 subscribers, 100 subscribers, 1,000 subscribers. I wouldn't do it. Because whenever I think of fat shaming, I think of images like some family member which I really care about, like my Oma hanging from a tree committing suicide, because a bunch of people were poking fun at her, going, go eat a salad, and you fat retard, I mean, seriously. Fat shaming is wrong, and it would never exist. And for any popular YouTuber who says that fat shaming works, then pretty much in my opinion, you don't deserve to have the pretty much the fame and all that kind of stuff of which you have. And if one of Hunter Avallone's fans is watching this, then you can leave a dislike, you can say whatever the hell you like. I don't really care. Just the thing is, a while ago I was thinking of maybe subscribing to his channel when it came to me seeing his video on where he was calling out Jake Paul for being somewhat of a jerk, for his horrible antics and stuff. And because of me seeing this video, the chances of me subscribing to his channel, they're at 0. They're below 0. And that you probably need to go into the minus sections, in the minus hundreds section, for my chances in wanting to subscribe to his channel. So anyways, if you like this video, then don't forget to give it a thumbs up, comment on whatever you like down below, and if you want to, then subscribe to my YouTube channel. And also, I have this poll thingy on, and basically, you can go and thingy on whether or not you can, so I was saying the whole thing on fat shaming and stuff is right, and how that fat shaming is wrong and only makes things worse, or if you think I am full of shit and that I should never dare try to question the words of Hunter Avallone, and that I should just leave YouTube and I'm a special snowflake or a libtard, then you can just go ahead and do that anyways. Because I don't really mind what other people say to me, whether it's good or bad. So, anyways, bye!